Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to take a look at and review the rules for the Lumineth Realm Lord's Glittering Phalanx Spearhead in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Today's video is sponsored by Easy Roller Dice, fantastic quality, easily legible dice that make your games quick and easy. Easy Roller Dice also sell other accessories for your dice like dice trays, cases, bags and cups as well. Use the code CinderfulGaming to get 20% off your next order and help support this store and the channel. Our formation for the Glittering Phalanx has our general being a Cenari Catalar. For units, we then have 2 units of 5 Venari Aurelin Sentinels, a unit of 10 Venari Aurelin Wardens, and 5 Venari Blade Lords. For battle traits, we have the Facets of War. These can be used once per battle round and at the start of the battle round. With the effect, you must choose this ability at the start of the battle round, and you need to pick one Facet of War ability. That Facet of War can be used this battle round, but the other 2 cannot. Now we then have 3 different Facets of War, the first being Power of Haish. This is once per turn army and can be used during your hero phase. To declare, you pick a friendly unit and roll a dice on a 2+ until the start of your next turn. That unit's attacks will score critical hits on a modified 5+ instead. It obviously has the keyword Facet of War, so this is one of the different abilities we can pick. Shining Company is next, a more defensive ability, once per phase army as a reaction, and the opponent declared an attack ability. Now, this can be used by a friendly unit targeted by that attack ability and that has not made a pile-in move this turn. You subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target that friendly unit. Our last one here is Lightning Reactions, and this is a passive ability with the effect when players are alternating picking units to fight. When it is your turn to pick a unit, you pick 2 units instead and activate those units one after the other. So there's some pretty cool stuff here. There's definitely a couple of good offensive bonuses. If you need to sort of make one unit better, you go Power of Haish. If you need to make one unit survive, you go with Shining Company. And if you need to get more of your units fighting in different places before your opponent does, Lightning Reactions is the way to go. Each of these has the certain things that are going to benefit in different ways, and you do need to plan ahead, as it is at the start of the battle round you're going to be picking your Facet of War. For Regimen Abilities, like all, we have 2 to pick from. The first is pretty simple, Arcane Prowess, and this is a passive effect that gives +1 to casting rolls for your general. Pretty simple stuff there. Now, Heightened Reflexes is the other option, and a passive effect as well. This adds 1 to save rolls for friendly units that use a fight ability immediately after another friendly unit because of the Lightning Reactions ability until the end of the phase. So both these are situational. Obviously one of them is only going to benefit your general, and that's only going to matter as well if your general's picked certain enhancements, as it won't have its own spell. But Heightened Reflexes as well is only going to work if you pick Lightning Reactions. For me, I think it's going to be down to what you pick as your enhancement here as to which one you go for, because obviously Arcane Prowess has no point in being taken if you've not taken one of the spell enhancements. Looking at those enhancements, we have 4 of them to choose from and can give 1 to our general. The first is Overwhelming Heat, and this is one of the 3 different spell ones we've got access to. You can pick a visible enemy unit within 24 inches of your general, then make a 2d6 casting roll. On a 7+, you can halve that unit's move characteristic, and if the roll exceeds the unit's save characteristic after you've rolled a dice, you can inflict d3 mortal damage on it. So a little bit of damage and halving movement. You then have Protection of Haish, which is another casting spell. This one on a 7+ and will give your target a 5+ ward, which is pretty solid, giving you some extra defensive benefit. Now, Waystone is the only one that is not a spell, and this just allows your general to essentially teleport around the battlefield. Pretty cool. They can be in combat when they teleport out, but obviously can't go back into combat. And lastly, we have Speed of Haish, another spell, and this one doubles your movement on a 5+ to cast. For me, I think Protection of Haish is really nice because this, for me, sort of replaces Shining Company as being needed for a defensive buff. So you can have, Protection of Haish providing a defensive buff, meanwhile still getting Lightning Reactions. And then you've also got some ways here to potentially get a little bit more damage out of your force, harm your opponent's movements. I do think I would probably go Protection of Haish and then take Heightened Reflexes as my Regiment and Enhancement combo. Our first unit and our general is the Sigmar Catalar. 5 health, 6-inch move, 6+ save and control score of 2. Its combat attack isn't too much to write home about. 3 attacks, 3s to hit, 4s to wound, no rend and damage D3. The Darkness of the Soul ability can be used during your hero phase, and to declare you pick an enemy unit within 12 inches to be the target, then roll a dice. On a 3+, you subtract D6 from the control score of the target unit. It's got keywords Hero, Wizard and Infantry. So pretty nice. A little bit of control score manipulation is always nice to have. This obviously has the Wizard keyword and will get some spells depending on what you've sort of picked for your enhancements. And, you know, it's got generic Wizard stats in combat, and its sort of base stats is what you would expect. Our first unit are the Venari Blade Lords. 2 health each, 6-inch move, 4+ save and control score of 1. Now they do have 2 different weapon profiles here, and we'll talk about them because the Sword Masters is a passive ability, which means you pick to use your Sun Metal Great Blades either as the Perfect Strike or the Flurry of Blows version. Now, the Sun Metal Great Blades Flurry of Blows has 3 attacks each, hitting on a 3, wounding on a 4 with 1 rend and 1 damage, with crit mortal and anti-infantry +1 rend. Now, the Sun Metal Great Blade, on the other hand, hits on a 2+, but only gets 1 attack per model, but this does allow you just to deal a straight up point of mortal damage. So, really, it's depending on what you're sort of wanting to do with these. If your opponent's got some really good defense, maybe you are going for that automatic damage. If you're just trying to guarantee a couple of wounds through. But you also have the Guardian's ability on them as well, which is another passive ability. And this can be used while your generals hold within your unit's combat range here, and both this unit and your general will gain Ward 5+. So this is pretty cool because this can give these guys Ward 5+, and then if you've gone with the enhancement to get Ward 5+ out there, can go on another one of your frontline units. Next we have our archers, the Venari Aurelon Sentinels. 1 health each, 6-inch move, 5+ save and control score of 1. At range, they have their Aurelon bows, an 18-inch range, 2 attacks each, 3s to hit and 4s to wound with 1 rend, 1 damage, and the crit auto wound ability. They can also have lofted shots, which is an ability you can use during the shooting phase that adds 6-inch to their range, but will subtract 1 from their hit rolls. So they would go to a 24-inch range, but be a 4+ to hit. They have a Venari daggers in combat, which are 1 attack, 3 to hit, 4 to wound, no rend, damage 1, so nothing too great there, what you expect from archers. But they do also have the reinforcements keyword as well, meaning they can come back after being destroyed. Lastly, we have our Venari Aurelon Wardens. Now this is our unit of 10 models, and they will have 1 health each, 6-inch move, 4+ save and control score of 1. The Warden's Pike in combat has 2 attacks with 3s to hit, 4s to wound, no rend, damage 1, but they do have crit mortal and anti-charge +1 rend. Their ability, Moonfire Flask, is a once per battle ability that can be used during any combat phase, and to declare it, you pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit that charged this turn to be the target. So this is pretty cool because it means this actually can be used when your opponent countercharges into your unit as well. On the effect of it though, you roll a dice on a 2+, you inflict D3 mortal damage to the target. This unit also has the reinforcements keyword, meaning they can come back after being destroyed to keep your army in the fight for longer. We hope this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment them down below. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe and join our Discord server to check out all of our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar content.